Welcome back to the Dex and Randi Show, the number one show for going through the ups and downs of life. Stay tuned. We're coming up next. What's up? What's up? Welcome back to another episode of the Dex and Randi Show. This is episode 56. Excited to have y'all back with us for another episode of our podcast. We got so much we want to talk to y'all about as we go through the ups and downs of life. But before we go into anything that's been going on, I got to introduce my co-host. What's up, man?
Hey. I feel like I was like taken off. I just wasn't ready. But it's all good.
It's all good.
I'm Randi, the co-host of the Dex and Randi Show.
And we keeping it in just like that, because that's how it be.
No editing out.
That's how it be. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, listen, y'all, welcome back. You know what I mean? I'm Dex. This is Randi, number one show for going through the ups and downs of life. And you know what? This podcast is for everybody, but it's specifically for people like us that are adults, that are really out there trying to do something with their lives. We're responsible for so many things. We wear so many hats. We mothers, we fathers, we husbands, wives, business owners. Like, we just trying to do so much in everyday life, and we have responsibilities. And you know what? This podcast is for you to help you navigate through life, through those good and bad times, right, man? But before we jump into it, you know what I mean? We got to give a big shout out, as always, to our sponsor that allows this podcast to take place.
Yes, this podcast is sponsored by Basden Accounting, Basden Accounting LLC, located in Gambrills, Maryland. And they are the number one firm to help you with your taxes, advisory, accounting, and payroll. They take really, really good care of you. They care about their clients. They do everything that they can to see you succeed in your business. Why are you laughing?
I be all up in the advertisement. I don't know, every time I don't know where you're actually gonna go with it. You know what I'm saying?
Either.
That's the beautiful thing. You know what I mean? But reach out to Basden Accounting. You can find them on Instagram, at Basden Accounting. You can find them on the website, www.basdenaccounting.com. Reach out to them. Make sure you get everything tight for your business. And when it comes to taxes, if you haven't been on top of your taxes, listen, it's about to be tax filing season. So it's a little too late to fix what you didn't do last year. But it's the perfect time to start getting ready for how things should be this year. You know what I'm saying? Do you need to change your business structure? You need to be an S Corp now, C Corp. Are you making more money? What's the year looking like? Start planning. We got to start planning today. Basden Accounting can help you with that, both the past and the future, right? So reach out to them today. You will be in really good hands, you and your business, all right? Now, episode 56, yo, it's so much we got to unpack today when it comes to good and bad times. You know, episode 56, we're going to dedicate this episode specifically to Maxie. You know, you might be like, well, who's Maxie? But this episode is all for our memory, and we want to dedicate this to Maxie. Max is our dog who unexpectedly passed away yesterday, and it's been a really tough 48 hours for us, you know, and it's one of those examples of how life can turn in any second, in any moment, where things could be on the up, and before you know it, you can get a wrench thrown in your life and that you didn't even expect, you know? And unfortunately, Randi and I and our kids, we had to say goodbye to our dog yesterday out of nowhere. And we really didn't expect that. And any of y'all, if you have pets, man, like, and you really a pet owner, that you take care of your pet, you know that pets really become part of your family. They become part of you. And, you know, they mean a lot to you. So having to lose a pet was very, very hard. But we want to start off and tell y'all a little bit about Maxie, you know what I'm saying, and what happened. You know, we'll start from the beginning real quick. And Maxie was a dog that our niece picked up. It was pretty much like a rescue dog situation. The dog wasn't taken care of very well from the previous owner, you know, and our niece got the dog, had the dog for a little while, wasn't able to, you know, take care of it in the long term, and essentially blessed our family by giving us the dog, while selling us the dog. You know, we purchased it, you know what I'm saying? You know, when we first got the dog, it was very evident that he hadn't been treating well. I tried to walk him outside. Each of us would try to walk him. He wouldn't want to walk. He didn't really interact with us. He was very quiet. You would literally have to drag him down the sidewalk because it didn't look like he was even used to walking. You know what I'm saying?
When he used the bathroom, he would use it on the sidewalk and not the grass.
Exactly. It was just
He was a Yorkie, by the way.
Yes, he was a Yorkie. Thank you very much. You know what I'm saying? But it was evident from the beginning that he had been through a lot of trauma, and it was hard to watch. But the good thing he was part of our family now. And we got a lot of love in this household. And Maxie was here to receive all of that love from us and our kids. And over time, he started to come around and truly become a family pet of ours, What from your view, what was this early moments with Maxie like, and some of the things that you experienced as he, integrated with our family? What was it like for you?
Well, it was definitely different because the only pet that I really had was a cat.
Mm-hmm.
So,
you had a rabbit though before.
I mean, yeah, I was a kid, but I mean, as an adult, like,
right.
To me,
mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was an adjustment because they require so much work.
They do.
So I remember when we first got him, and we had to walk him multiple times a day,
mm-hmm.
and it's like you see this stuff on TV, and what happens, but then you start experiencing it. I'm like, oh, this is very involved, but it was good though. It was nice. He brought everybody together. Like, it was nice watching you bathe him and the kids partake and brushing his teeth.
Mm-hmm.
It was all right.
Hey, and yo, when we talk about him being mistreated and the trauma, like when we got him, I mean, his teeth was already rotting out.
Yeah, they were really, really
I mean,
bad.
he had a gingivitis breath situation that was just crazy, had some kidney issues. Like, he was really a rescue situation when we got him. Like, he was not in good space. And you could just tell, like, dang. You could tell also that he wasn't used to being fed regularly, because he would always want to, like, eat around the table or, like, eat table scraps or whatever. Like, you can tell that he was really somebody that, he was a dog that was just there, and they might throw some food at him and that kind of thing. But he was never cared for.
He was very sad too.
He was,
he would just lay there.
You can see it in his eyes too.
He was so sad.
It was tough. And y'all might be able to relate, like, whether it's a dog or a human, but like, when you interact with somebody when they're not doing well, like, there's a sadness that you can feel in them. There's a lack of, like, zest for life, and it's very tough because it can, like, zap your own energy. But it was very easy to identify early. Like, I felt bad for him. It was tough, but we stayed the course. He became part of the family. My son Christian, that became his responsibility to walk him 3 times a day, in the morning when he came here from school, and then in the evening. That was his responsibility. I would help take care of him, give him his bath, not as frequent as I should have, but I would give him his bath, brush his teeth. His teeth would bleed when I brushed his teeth because they were in such bad situation. But, we did what we could, and he's been in our family for 3 years now, just like that, and fast forward, as we've had him and he kind of came around, and once he came around, we would take him outside and he enjoyed his walks. He found his favorite 5 spots to pee in. Every single time he lift his leg, pee in the same spots every day. But he's really became part of our family. Caleb loved him. Miranda liked him / tolerated him. But it was tough because he would pee in the house. He would pee in his cage.
Yeah, I wasn't ready for the difference.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And as a woman or man or whatever, it's tough when you walk in the house and you smell pee. Like, that's not what you want, especially when you got guests coming over. I'm taking Randy down trauma lane right now. But, it had its challenges. But we loved him, and he was part of the family. And you could tell that he loved us. He would sit right next to my son Kirby, our 3-year-old. He would sit right next to Caleb and Christian. He would interact with them, want to jump in their lap. Like, you could tell that he really, really loved his life, and he became someone that meant a whole lot to us, even with the challenges. Now, fast forward, and you guys, what made it tough is that up until 2 days ago, he was okay. We didn't have any idea that anything was wrong with him. I come home 2 days ago, fast forward, and this is life, y'all. We're telling you about our dog and our pet, and this probably happened to other people that's got pets, but this is life. Like, life can go from a up to a down just like that with no warning, man. So 1 minute, he's under the table eating my son's scrap food and doing his usual thing, sneaking downstairs to the basement, eating the cat's food, like doing his Maxie thing. But then I come here 2 nights ago, and it's my turn to go take him out for a walk. And mind you, at this time of the year, it's freezing outside. We had some snow recently, a couple inches. It's snow on the ground, ice on the ground, and he's a Yorkie, right? So you can't have him outside long. They got cold.
And he won't use the bathroom if he put his coat on.
He won't. So we got him a little, yeah, I'm glad you said that. We got him a little coat. Well, Randy got the coat. I didn't get it. Randy got him a nice little coat, and he refuses to pee when he's got his coat on. So it's just like he just refused to pee. And if it's cold outside, he would go. He don't want to walk. He don't want to pee. He just wants to try to lick the snow. If it were rain outside, he's out there drinking the water. He'd be like, bro, just pee. But no, he won't. He wants to drink the water, try to lick the snow, whatever. So I go out 2 nights ago to take him for a walk. And again, it's cold outside. And as soon as we got outside, he just laid on his side, right on the cold ground. And he didn't move at all. And I'm sitting there like, I've never seen this before. Like, and mind you, it's freezing outside. So who's going to lay on the ice? But he's literally laying on his side and won't move. So I literally picked him up and brought him back into the house. And I decided, let's give him a little bit of food, give him a little bit of water, not too much. And he ate a little bit of his food, drank a little bit of water, and then he laid down right after that.
And that's how we knew something was wrong, because he tears up the food and he can down some water.
Yeah.
Like, there shouldn't have been anything left in his bowl.
Nothing.
But
yeah, he be drinking water like he ain't never had anything to drink in his life. Like he goes crazy over water. But that night, it's like he took a little bit, but nah, then he laid back down. So I said, okay, maybe let me just go put him in his cage, that kind of thing. And I went to put him in his cage, and he literally like fell over into his cage. And then I was just like really, really worried for him after that. So I said, let me take him back out of his cage and just see if he could stand up at all. And when we took him out, we took him out his cage and tried to stand him up, and he just fell right over.
Yeah, I wasn't there for that part. Yeah, I was in the shower.
Okay. Yeah, he fell. All right, I was screaming for you to come check it out. Yeah. I took him back out his cage, and he just fell over on his side. And I'm like, oh my gosh, something's wrong. Mariah comes around. She's like, I think you need to take him to the emergency. The kids are worried. He's literally laying there, taking a breath every like 7 seconds or so. But all of a sudden, he didn't have much life in him. You know what I'm saying? So fast forward, I pack him up, take him to the animal emergency hospital, because we want to find out what's going on with our dog. All of a sudden, that's life for you. We're in a crisis situation, and we're like, what's going on with our dog? When I take him to the emergency hospital, they take him right out the bag, take him right to the back. 10 minutes later, they call me to the back, and the doctor sits me down, and she says, I want to tell you right away that I'm concerned that he's teetering and he's not going to make it. And I'm sitting there like in awe, like, what do you mean? And she's like, I'm really afraid he's very weak. We can't get a blood pressure. His blood sugar levels are so low. Like all this list of like negative stuff, how skinny he was, and the fact that he just didn't have any energy and he couldn't hold his head up, and it was all of the blue. I'm like, hold on, you're telling me that my dog is at risk for dying just like that? And she's like, we need to start some treatments urgently, this and that. But I'm just not sure. I'm very concerned, and I want to be honest with you about that. And I just left her, and I'm just like, oh my gosh. But they said that they would do everything they could to try to get him to be okay.
And they did.
And they did. And I had to make a hard call to Randy, because, not only when these things unexpectedly happen, they have financial impacts. Randy's the financial guru in the family. I had to make a hard call to Randy and let her know what they were saying about the finances. So when I called you, what did I tell you they were saying that it was going to cost on the low end to try to?
On the low end, it was $3,000.
$3,000, yo.
It was $600 just for them to see him in emergency.
$600 to see him. And they gave us a low end estimate of like $3,300 or $3,400 or something like that. And the high end was almost $6,000, yo. Now that will teach you something. Not only emotionally was we not ready for this, not only mentally was we not ready for this, but financially wasn't ready for it either. How many of y'all out there are ready for your life to change in a minute, whether it's a pet, whether it's a job loss, a friend, a parent, whatever, and you got to find $3,000 right away, urgently. You got to find $6,000. Like, are you ready for that? But life can do those things. But we paid the $3,000, and I told Randy, and it was a hard conversation, but I said, I at least want to try to save him. So we paid the $3,000. I went home, told the kids about everything. We prayed for the dog. We prayed in the morning. The kids went off to school. We went off to work, right? As the day goes along, I get a call. I missed the call. I see that the doctor's leaving a voicemail or whatever. And we went out to lunch. When we went out to lunch, we happened to bump into one of our clients. The client sat down and had lunch with us for a little while. And I called the doctor back, and they let me know that nothing that they was doing was working. And they let me know that they recommended that we euthanize him to put him out of the pain that he's obviously in. And they said whatever's going on with him, it was something chronic, disease-wise, and that it had clearly had been in some progressive state. Now, listen to me, y'all. You're like, I'm talking about my pet, but like, did we have warnings of this? No. Did we know that this was going to happen? No. Was our family prepared for anything like this? No. But all of a sudden, our family member is our pet, but our family member is in dire need. And somebody's telling us that he's not going to be making it. And they're recommending that we put him down to put him out of his pain. Some of y'all probably been through an experience like this. Everything's good, and all of a sudden, your sister's sick. Your dad's sick. Your mother's sick. Out of nowhere, you go from chilling at the family barbecue, playing cards and all that, to 2 days later, your dad or your uncle's in the hospital, the same one that was cheering at the barbecue, in the hospital with a heart attack or with a stroke. Like, life is real like that. So here we are, 24 hours later, I'm being told at lunch that my dog's not going to make it. One thing I want to say to this client that was there with us, man, this client, when I got this news, I started crying. And a lot of people think that your clients can't be friends of yours and you can't mix business and personal. And in a lot of aspects, that's true. But in that moment, this client let me know that it was okay to be weak. They told me that it was okay to let my emotions out. I started crying at the table. You know what I'm saying? And they gave me a hug. This is a client of ours. I appreciate them so much. And they told me something. They said, you don't need to be strong for us in this moment. You don't need to be strong and keep on that I don't want to say that persona, but feel it. You be there for yourself right now. Let those emotions come out. And I cried, and Randy was there with me, and we tried to get through lunch and that kind of thing, After that, what did we do after that, man?
I went home to pick up the kids,
Mm-hmm.
talk to them about what was going on, pick them up to take them to say bye to Maxie.
What was that like? I know what it was like for me having to talk to the kids, but me, I dominate the conversation sometimes. So what was it like for you as we went through and kind of briefed the kids on what they was about to go through, man?
Very sad for me. Just to see them sad, both crying. Oh, my heart broke for them.
Yeah.
Really did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because we never seen them like that.
Ever.
Yeah.
Ever, And our kids are 11 and 8 now. So they're at the age where they're young. Sorry, 12. He just went 12 and 8. They're old enough to know. And, when they 3, 4, 5, like, okay, but like 12 and 8, you start to understand life a little bit. You know when something's not good. They're mature enough to know, like, this is I'm about to lose my dog. And to connect those feelings.
Yeah.
They're old enough to know and be sad with that news, One of the things that I talk to them about, which I would encourage everybody to talk to your kids about, and I even talk to yourself about it, is reminding the importance of life, and that life is a up, it's a down. It's also understanding that at any moment things could change. But even more importantly, you have to cherish every moment of your life. Cherish the people in your life that you love. Be nice to them. Treat them good, even when they necessarily not treating you the best. It's important for us to take these moments. Every day that God gives us life is for us to sit there and make an impact. But if we have love in our hearts, we're supposed to share it. And I I talked to my boys about how important it was for them to treat each other well, their brothers, love each other, appreciate each other, and be thankful for every moment in life that we have together. And I wanted to take that opportunity for them to remember that life is not guaranteed and we're not all going to be here forever. And I had that conversation with them. So we all hopped in the car. Again, this episode is dedicated to Maxie. We love you, Maxie. We miss you. So that's why we're staying on this for a little bit. But we hopped on the car and all of us together, me, Randy, and our two boys, were on our way to the hospital to say goodbye to Maxie, right? And what happened when we got there?
We went into the room. We talked to the vet or one of the assistants there and talked about like the funeral services or choices of cremation. We went through that. And then we made a decision.
Yeah.
And then they brought him in the room and we said goodbye.
Yeah. That was hard. I had him in my lap. Randy was there, my two boys, crying. They were petting him. We sang Jesus Loves Me to him.
Oh, yeah.
You know, we literally sang Jesus Loves Me to him. You know what I'm saying? And if you think about the words that Jesus in that song, it's a kid's song, but those words are very pertinent to everything in life. You know what I'm saying? If you really think about it. You know what I'm saying? The words of that song, if y'all don't know it, I ain't about to sing it. Do not worry. But it's Jesus loves me. This I know, for the Bible tells me so. The Bible tells us that Jesus loves us. It's here for us in these moments. You know what I'm saying? What's the next part of that song?
Little ones to him belong. They are weak, but he is strong.
Y'all heard that, man? We belong to him. We're weak, but God is strong. And God was with us in that moment with Maxie. So we sang that song to him. We prayed with him. We thanked him for being a part of our family. We thanked him for all of the memories that he gave us. And we let him know that we were here and that we loved him. And I'm going to tell y'all, whatever you think about pets, they are very similar to us. They know. They know when something's wrong. I could see it in his eyes how sad he was. You know what I'm saying? If you guys have ever experienced a pet, because we had a cat that passed away years ago, a pet will usually go off on their own and pass away. Why do they do that? Because they know that something's wrong and they don't want to do it around the people that they love. So pets on their own will walk away from the house, walk away from their box into the woods and pass away on their own. They don't stay next to the people they love. That's how much they love you. Pets have that instinct to do that. I'm holding Maxie. They came in. We said our goodbyes. Everybody's crying and everything. It was very hard, very emotional. And the doctor came in and explained that they'll give one thing to put him to sleep and one thing to stop his heart. And I'm telling you, y'all, Maxie was gone in like 15 seconds.
I was surprised at how fast it was.
I've never been through that experience, but holding him in my hands. And you know what? I'm so proud of our kids because we gave them the option. We said, you don't need to be in here to watch him pass away, but they wanted to be there. This is a 12-year-old and an 8-year-old that didn't want to leave the room for the euthanization part. They wanted to stay. And they sat there and held on to him, and I held on to him, and I could feel when the life was going from him. And Maxie was gone, just like that, yo. So this is episode 56, and we dedicating this to Maxie because we love him and we miss him. 3 years went by really fast, and him getting sick and passing away happened even faster. So if y'all listening to this, another moment for you to remember what life is all about. Ain't an amount of money in the world. We ended up paying them was $5,000, 4,000 something, because we have to pay for the euthanization and everything. We paid thousands of dollars. Blood transfusion, like we tried, and they couldn't save him.
And we still don't know exactly what was wrong.
And we don't know.
Something terminal. They said maybe cancer, maybe some sort of kidney situation. And
yeah, we don't know.
We don't know.
We don't know. And just like that, money, lots of money, but even more pain. And we wasn't prepared for that. And there was nothing that we could do. We reassured our kids that it was nothing they did wrong. And this was all a part of life. And then we hop back in the car. We're going to be getting some type of clay imprinted plaque thing or something soon with his paw on it. But yeah, man, we lost our dog, man. And that was really hard for us this week. So Maxie, we love you. We dedicate this episode to you. This is just another example of the ups and downs of life. But for all my pet owners, if you've been through this, let us know in the comments. Tell us your story. You know, if you've lost your pet recently, trust me, we empathize with you. We sympathize with you. We know how much it hurts. Don't let anybody tell you that a pet is not a family member. They are. And it's even more impactful when you have kids. So Maxie, this is our way to say that we really, really love you, bro. And we're so sorry that this happened, but we're so blessed to have had you in our lives. And we dedicate this episode to you, man. Anyway, as we transition from that, it's been a lot of other things that's been going on with us, you know. One of those things is, as y'all know, Randi is on this path to rebrand herself, which is very, very exciting because I already told y'all a long time ago, Randi is the GOAT. She don't know it, but I know it. I knew it from the first day I met her. She is the greatest. And now she's really putting that effort in to develop her own individual brand, and she's made an investment to that. So how's that been going? What's going on?
It's going really good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking it very serious, doing homework. I've attended all of the Zoom sessions, and I'm getting a lot of clarity on what it is that I'm supposed to be doing. So it's good. I'm working through a workbook, and before I meet with my actual coach, I have to finish the workbook.
Mm-hmm.
So I've dedicated, in my mind, I'm trying to dedicate 1 hour a day to go through it. But it's a lot of like thought-provoking questions.
Mm-hmm.
So I really have to think about the answers. Like one of the questions are, what do you want to be known for?
Yeah.
And it's like, what? I can do so many things.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a mom. I'm a wife. I can cook a little bit. You know, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a good accountant. I love taxes. Like, it's a lot of thought-provoking stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I understand why she asked these questions and why you have to go through the notebook before you actually have the one-on-one. You can attend the group sessions, but so it's been intriguing. I'm learning a lot about myself and I'm pushing myself.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to post like once a day, and on my rebrand, I'm posting business stuff
Right.
once a day. So, and that's not even like, I don't know. It's not like something that I have to do or I've been told to do, but I'm positioning myself for a way that I want people to perceive me, even though I'm not 100% sure on what I want that perception to be. But I'm kind of like practicing in my mind and playing around with, okay, well, when you come to my page, What do you see? What should you be seeing?
Mm-hmm.
I'm a businesswoman.
Mm-hmm.
That needs to come across somewhat.
But it didn't.
It didn't.
Mm.
It was just like, oh, you have great family values.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Not at all.
If you don't already follow me, you're not going to know that I'm a businesswoman.
Mm-hmm.
Because once you follow me, you see my stories, then you would know. But if you just come to my page, you're not going to know.
Yeah.
So I'm rebranding myself. I'm positioning myself. I really like the color blue. So you're going to see me in that a lot more when I'm posting content. But it's good. I love that I've made the investment and it's making a difference in the way that I'm operating.
Mm-hmm.
So I needed that guidance.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes the investment has to be large so you can pay it attention.
Yeah.
I've made investments in other things and I ain't even touched them.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And this investment, it truly is an investment. Financially, time-wise, like when y'all think about investment, you should feel it. Like if you really want to know that you made a real investment to make yourself better, it shouldn't be something easy that you just clicked and, you know, it's not changing much about you. Like you should feel it. It's almost like true sacrifice, you know, and we made that decision. It's a financial investment, but I do feel like it's paying off already. And how you change and even how you're talking. I liked so Randi showed me the little video. She had taken a little video of one of her sessions. When they asked you that question about like what you want to be known for, you didn't really know the answer. And it's interesting because a lot of us, including myself, we do so much. Like we're good at a lot of things. Like, you know what I mean? We talk about it all the time, even on the podcast. Like, hey, we make money together. We got business together. We got family together. Like, but what do we want to be known for? What do we want our audience to know about us? Well, really, what do we want our audience to know about us? Is that we can do everything together as a couple. We're the source. We are it, right? So really what we are doing out there is letting people know that, hey, you can do it together. You don't have to go off by it. Like these goals, we can achieve them all together. That's what we do. And that's what we would want people to know about Dex and Randi. But it's different when we say, what do we want people to know about Dex? Or what do we want people to know about Randi? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And you didn't really have an answer for it.
And I still don't.
And it's a simple question, but y'all should ask yourself that question. What do you want to be known for?
What do you want to be
Not what you're good at, not what skills you have, not what jobs you have or whatever, but like, what do you want to be known for? Like really, really known for? What is your expertise? We heard your name Dex, we heard your name Randi, we go see Dex's social media, Randy's. Like, what do you want people to know and take away right away? He gave me a lot to think about too. All of a sudden, I know my social medias is trash. I need to fix that. Because what do I want people to know about me? You know, it's got me thinking too. So I'm glad you're doing it because it's going to rub off on me organically. You know what I'm saying?
Because I'm going to talk to you about it.
I know, for sure.
And I appreciate you supporting me. And I like that I can talk to you about some of the stuff that I'm thinking about and some of the stuff that I'm learning because you're included, even though it's not your thing. Like I'm doing this independently, but you're still involved. So I appreciate that.
Of course, of course. One other thing that you said about this, you can let me know, you know, any thoughts you got. But when you're in these meetings, I like that it's not just you and this person. So you said something about being on a call and there's other people that's got even more of an investment in it than you. That must make you feel like the seriousness of it. Like this is real. This is legit. Like this is purposeful. You see what I'm saying? Because there's other people like you that's made the same investment as you. But then there's a whole nother tier that's got way more money into this. So I think that's dope for you. You know what I mean? For sure.
I aspire to be at the next tier, but I gotta flip this. I gotta flip this coaching stuff first and put it to use and just thrive.
Yeah.
So, but it's just incredible because I'm like, wow, this is really, really good coaching.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been coached multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
And when I'm in the process, I remember how good it feels.
Yeah.
Like, yes, this is worth it. And that lets you know that you're working with a good coach.
Right.
So I feel good.
I
feel good about the investment. I feel good about the stuff that I'm learning. And I even feel like I could do something like this for my students. But I need to work on my confidence. And then that's the other thing too, as a part of this program, they have mindset coaching. So it's not just like business, it's different aspects. And I'm like, oh, I need that.
Why do you think the mindset piece is so important though? Because you was telling me like, I'm glad that they talk about mindset, but like for you, why do you think like the mindset aspect is like so important to what they're teaching you?
Because in order to like achieve it, you have to believe it first. So I have trouble believing it because life will beat you up.
For
and
real.
You forget you just forget to dream or you stop dreaming. If you can't even like think about what's possible or see it, it's hard to like, what are you working towards?
Yeah.
Like, you got to have a goal of something. So that's why mindset is important. Like you need to be able to see yourself doing it or believe that you can.
Mm-hmm.
And I struggle with that, but I'm getting better. And
you ain't the only one though. Cause you know that mindset that you're talking about, you have to develop that. You don't just have it. You know what I mean? Like maybe your parents or someone as you've gone through your life has kind of instilled that in you, but having that mindset to truly believe in yourself and see yourself, the challenge is like seeing yourself past what you currently are.
Exactly.
And believe in that. You can always see what's in front of you, like, but like seeing myself, like even right now, like if I say, Randi, can you see yourself as the number one person that women come to know how to have a successful business, be serious about that business, and be a mother and a wife at the same time and do it all? And go on your platform tomorrow and there's 2 million people following you and listening to all of your advice. Can you see that? Can you see it? You see what I'm saying? You want it, right?
Exactly.
But can you see it?
I cannot see that, but I know it's possible because if it can happen for somebody else, it can happen for me too.
Mm-hmm.
So, but that's like you said, like that hits the nail right there. Like I know it's possible, but me, I mean, is it possible for me really? So I would have to see it, and that's what I'm working on.
Right.
But the other thing that I like about my business coach is that she believes in me. So she sees things in me. She's like, you're going to have an $100,000 month. And I'm thinking, I know that's possible because it happens. I'm like, you really see that for me? Like, are you telling me the truth here? Like you ain't capping.
Right.
But yeah, that's why mindset is important. Because for her, she like, I do this.
Yeah.
I can see this.
Right. And the thing is, it's also okay because, and as we had talked about our dog pass and we talked about the client that had us at lunch, one thing that they said that was actually really good was that thing that we can fall into, which is like almost like imposter syndrome, right? Which is like, as you get better at something, as you see yourself bigger than what you are, even as you attain it, it's almost like, is this really happening? You know what I mean? It's very hard. You could be like, am I really as good as people saying I am, or as these results show? Like, it really, sometimes we are the last person to recognize how good we actually are.
And you have people out here that's worse than you that's actually doing better than you.
But they got that right mindset. You know what I mean? And we're sitting here amazing, but we be the last person at the table to recognize it and not even just see it, but like earn it and truly believe it. But that's okay. That's why you need community. That's why you can't do it on your own. That's why you need to be in these groups where other people that are serious about what they're doing and business, and they can pour into you and see things that you don't see, and they can reaffirm it. Now, I hate to say it, but it's true. Her saying certain things to you is going to hit different than if I say it. Because I'm your husband. Like, we've been in this together. I tell you, I think it'd good all the time. But I've been telling you that before you blew up. So it's different when it comes from somebody else, an expert, somebody that you don't know from anything. And when you go on and you're working with clients, and like that environment of having other people that don't have to say it is going to help over time too. I'm happy for you. We're going to keep giving updates on Randi, but Randi is rebranding. Randi's about to blow up in 2025. Randi is great. She's always been on the outside of her greatness. She's done things. This podcast has been amazing doing it with you, but she's had YouTube channels. She's had good content on Instagram. Like, she's going viral, all types of stuff. You know what I mean? But the consistency and the mindset, that's going to do it for you. Consistency and mindset. And you're off to the right. First of all, I love all your new content with the blue. I love it. And I can tell, the last thing I'm going to say is I can tell that if you keep doing it, I'm going to get used to seeing it. Because I've already like, oh, okay, I saw this yesterday, blue one, okay. Like, you got used to seeing it. And y'all know what it's like when you go on certain pages, whether you're leaving negative comments or not, you know who you expect to see at the top of your feed. Like, we all know it, especially if you be on your phone often. You know when you scroll down on Instagram who's probably posted something in their story. Everybody, you know it. Think about it. That's going to be you. People's going to know Randi's probably posted another giant. Oh, gosh, she's probably posted another thing. But that's how you know that it's working. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I can't wait to watch you blow. I'm going to be there for you. And we're going to keep this going. And y'all, make sure you follow Randi. Let them know your Instagram handle. We got to plug you real quick.
Oh, yes. My Instagram handle is at Miranda.Basden.
Yes.
Basden.
Make sure you follow her. And this is a enrolled agent with the IRS. You're going to get all types of great knowledge from her. But she just the realist, too. So you're going to get the best of both. She's the realist, and she cares about everything that she's doing, that she's very, very good at. And she don't really miss much, if anything. So make sure you follow her today. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I did want to share something else too.
Yeah.
If you don't mind.
I don't.
I just want to talk about being overwhelmed.
Okay.
And I had, so I'm part of a women's group at my church, and we meet every other week, and we just, do Bible lessons and just talk about things. But one of the things that came up, and I'll just be general because it's done in confidentiality, but there were some concerns about me being overwhelmed.
Okay.
And so I've just been praying about it this week. And because I do have a lot on my plate. And we talked about it in the last episode where you created Randi's World and wrote all the stuff that's on my plate. So one of the decisions that I have made is, because right now it's a busy season. It's tax season. We're very busy. We're closing the books from 2024 for our clients. And then also I have a seasonal part-time job. So one of the things that God placed on my heart was for my seasonal part-time job, don't be as aggressive in the past. So in the past, you have like, they request that you work 20 hours a week. During tax week, they request that you work 40 hours a week. And in this season of my life, I'm just going to be looking at it as an educational opportunity. So I will be working. My goal is 20 hours a week, but I may not reach that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to be killing myself to get the bonus. Like, I'm going to definitely do my best,
Right.
but I'm not going to overextend because this coaching is taking me to the next level.
Mm-hmm.
So the priority for that is kind of moving to the forefront, and the seasonal part-time is going to get pushed to the side, which is different.
Yeah.
Because I'm a overachiever. Like, I want to go, I want to give 100%. I want to, the bonus, I need to work this many hours and talk to this many people and get this many surveys. Like, last year I exceeded expectations. I got bonuses on top of the bonus and got promoted this year. Within 1 year, got promoted. So it's going to be hard for me.
It is.
Because I want to give them 100%, but my plate is full. But when I'm working, I am going to give the 100%. But I just wanted to talk about that for a second, just managing your plate, because so many of us have so much going on.
Mm-hmm.
We have family, work, friends.
Yeah.
We trying to halfway take care of ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe have a fitness plan going on. Maybe trying to learn a new skill. And it's hard.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes you have to remove some things. And I just thank God for showing me that that's the thing.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have picked it per se, but that's the thing.
Well, I think it's dope that, and I know it's a confidential thing, but I think it's dope that your woman's group is set up in a way where people could be real with you like that and kind of let you know their concerns. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you need that from people on the outside. Like, hey, I'm concerned you're doing a little bit too much. I'm going to let you know that. You don't got to take my advice, but I'm going to let you know, like, I'm a little concerned. The other thing you mentioned, which is important, is, as we, with this podcast, we're reaching everybody out there that is literally about their business or trying to do something with their life. You know what I'm saying? And you wear a lot of hats, as I mentioned, so you don't get to take off and say, I'm not going to be a mother. I'm not going to be a wife. You don't get to say, hey, I'm not going to run business and accounting. Like, you have responsibilities. That's why it was important for us to create that Randi's World, because the whole purpose of creating it was not just to show everything that's on your plate. We were trying to make room, and we were trying to prioritize this new thing. We didn't just add your rebrand to your list. We put it right in the top, in the middle, because that's the focus area now. It goes back to, like, what do you want to be known for? What's the important thing? So now your rebrand is the alpha for 2025. That's an alpha. So the other things, you either have to take something off your plate or change how you're treating it. You see what I'm saying? So anybody that's out there listening, be like, okay, well, I got too much on my plate, I can't do it. It doesn't mean you have to take something off your plate all the time, but maybe you need a little less of it on your plate. Maybe you need a little help with it. Remember, everything else that you had on your plate, we said, who do you have that can help with this? Because you do have responsibilities. We have a lot of responsibilities as adults. And we can't just say, I'm not going to do this today because I got something else to focus on. No, but maybe you usually will spend an hour on it. I'm only going to spend 15 minutes. Like you say with your job. Last year, you push. You could do the same thing this year and get a great bonus, but is that bonus comparable to where you might be able to become with this rebrand? You see what I mean? So, like, what do you really want out of things? And you almost have to adjust your utilization, because there's only one Randy, there's only one Dex. So we got to adjust those percentages so that what the priority is gets the larger percentage. But everything does have to get touched. And that's why we have to manage our lives the right way. We got to set up our new calendar. We got to set that up. We need to set up our calendar. Very expensive calendar. I think we talked about that on the last episode.
Yeah.
But now that we got all of these things, and the other thing you did, when we created Randi's World, I love that you printed it, put it up. I love that you have it as your background. You're like holding yourself accountable, and it's always right in front of your face. So that's dope. I didn't know you was going to do that, but I'm glad you did that. I think it's going to help you. But we're going to set up our calendar. And as a family, we all going to be a part of helping each other, reach goals this year, in an efficient way. So I'm glad you brought that up. I haven't been to my man's group. I went once and I didn't go back again. So maybe I need to tap into that church man's group because it was pretty good and I might need that, you know. But no, I'm proud of you with that. And I'm thankful that you have people that could keep it real with you like that.
The funny thing is you were concerned too, but like you said, sometimes hearing it from somebody else will make you look at things differently. Because I'm like, I know he's concerned, but he's always concerned. I got this. But then they like, nah, when we hear you talk about all the things you have going on, you stressing us out. And in my mind, I'm thinking, I haven't even shared.
Right.
This is probably 20% of everything. This is stressing you out? Shoot. It just made me think like, okay, I'd be doing a lot.
Yeah.
I must do.
Yeah, for sure. As we get getting up on time, one thing I do want to make sure we touch on, which was tough, but it happens, especially talking to my business owners really quickly. We got a lot ahead of us this year, and we've been trying to plan for it. So we mentioned on the last, maybe it was the last episode or the episode before, I can't remember, but we was very excited for a new hire that we was going to bring on, right? You know, and it didn't work out.
And I'm happy it didn't work out.
You are?
He wasn't our first choice.
You know what? Talk about that. Because you're right. We actually, I'll take the blame for it. Because the person we wanted, they ended up not being able to come and that kind of thing. They had some family stuff going on or something, but they didn't take this job. But we really, technically, we knew that they were stronger.
Right.
Right? But we had also interviewed somebody else. Now, what's the lesson for y'all? That word settle, don't do it. Don't settle. We always settle. Sometimes we have a need and it's like, oh, I need help. So like, I'll just take somebody. But no, don't do that. Do not settle. You see what I'm saying? So where you have your requirements set, where you know exactly what your business needs or the exact spouse that you're looking for, boyfriend you're looking for, girlfriend you're looking for, don't let them other components and triggering things make you settle. Like, oh, I'm lonely, so I'm going to settle. Oh, I need some money, I'm going to settle. Or, oh, I'm overwhelmed in my business, so I'm going to settle. You need to hire the person that is the right person, the one that you know is really, really good. All right? We need to settle.
Well, so he started pretty much. And I'm going to tell you, like that first meeting, that first walkthrough, I kind of got the feeling like, I don't think that he's the one. Like he just seemed like, I don't know how to explain it, but it just seemed like he wasn't involved. Like he wasn't really interested. He wasn't tapped in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just wasn't feeling him. But the thing is, I never interviewed with him. I wasn't a part of that.
Nah, that was me.
That was you.
That was me.
He was the second choice, and he just didn't seem tapped in at all.
Yeah. You know, when you come to somebody and you're like, hey, it's a big year for us, we got a lot of work on deck, and somebody, you let them know that it's like an urgency and importance to what's doing, you would expect that person to be asking questions like, hey, tell me about this. How can I help? When can I get started? And he was just didn't have a whole lot of questions.
He didn't have any questions.
He didn't have any. You know what I mean? Even through the interview process, he didn't have many questions for us. And that should have been assigned there. So I'll take that. But he didn't work out. But it's okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because you know what? Even on his first day, so we met with him and did a little walkthrough of everything. And then the next day, which would have been his first real day, he didn't show up.
I know. It's had some type of emergency or something like that. But
my thing is, your email is set up. You know the phone number. Like,
why didn't you contact us?
Yeah, why didn't you contact us?
Yeah, that was disappointing.
Yeah, that was very disappointing.
That was disappointing. And of course, once we got him, you know, once we got all of his accounts set up and got him on the portal and paid a couple of things for him, that's when we realized. That's when we had to about face. As soon as we got him set up, ready to work, he couldn't work. But it's okay. You know what I mean?
Right. God works in mysterious ways.
God is always in control.
Yeah, He gonna send the right person.
He gonna send us the right person. And the thing is, we're gonna have to trust in Him more because we might. Well, right now, I can tell you the way that I feel is like we need somebody. That's how I feel. But it's okay. He's gonna send us the right person at the right time. And He also tells us that He's not gonna give us more than what we can bear. So even though we got so much work that's coming on this year, maybe we're actually already okay the way we are to keep going until we find the right person.
And because I'm not presenting that job, the seasonal part-time as like priority, I have more time
Yeah,
to dedicate to that need.
for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. So yeah, that didn't work out, yo. But
Didn't work.
I'm sure you guys, if you're a business owner, let us know in the comments. We love to read stories. Like, share this podcast, of course, but you ever try to hire somebody, it didn't work out. Maybe you put them through the interview process and you knew but you did it anyway, and they came back to bite you. Let us know. Hope we're blessed because it showed up right away.
Exactly.
You see
That's
what I'm saying?
thinking.
So that's the blessing. We didn't go 3 months in and have him on some really important project for a client, and all of a sudden he showed his hand and that kind of thing. So it literally wasn't much of an impact to us, but it was a quick reminder of settling. So we want to encourage y'all, don't settle. And it's hard. People will say, I don't settle, but we settle all the time. We want to go to a certain restaurant and we say, oh, it's too far, it's a little bit too expensive, so we go settle and get some McDonald's. Maybe you need to wait a week, save a little bit more money, so you can go to the place that you ultimately want to go to, right? But
I know where you can take me.
Where can I take you?
Rare Steakhouse.
Give
in
them a plug.
Washington, D.C.
Rare Steakhouse in Washington, D.C. Hey, if you go there, don't go there, without some money in your pocket.
Lots of it.
Take a good amount of money in your pocket, or you will get indigestion. Once you see them prices. But Rare Steakhouse, Rare Steakhouse in DC is probably the best meal that we've had together as a couple 2 times now. So yeah, we got to go back there. Shout out to them. You know what I mean? Go check them out if you're in the DMV area, DC, Maryland, Virginia. You know what I'm saying? But their food is amazing. And the energy in there is nice. You know what I mean? Drinks is good. The bread is cracked. The bread is so good that they literally bring you out 2 rolls at a time.
It's 1 roll per person.
1 roll per person. You go eat and all of a sudden you're hangry. You want more bread, and they bring it to you 2 rolls at a time. They in restaurants that come give you a basket of bread right away. They're in a certain level of quality. But this place that comes in brings you your roll like on demand as you ask for it, and they just give you 2 at a time. It's so good though. The food is the best asparagus I'm had in my life.
Asparagus tastes like candy.
The food is so good. You know what I mean? So
I think you should get your mom over here so we pull up the Rare Steakhouse.
I know. We need that. But yeah, it didn't work out. But guys, don't settle. Try not to settle. Know what you're worth. Know what you're looking for. Know what you desire. And when it doesn't come, God's timing is always the right timing. And I think in that moment, I kind of forgot that because I let and it happens to all of us, but I let what was happening around me and like my perception of like the need and the urgency cloud the judgment a little bit. And I didn't trust that we would be okay if we just waited for somebody else. So I literally went from the pick I wanted to the one that we ended up hiring. I had interviewed them first and said no. That's the crazy part. And then the next person, I was like, yes. But once they didn't come, I defaulted back to what I had actually said no to. You got to trust your own judgment. Mm-hmm. I had already said no. And when I told you why I said no, I actually told you they're not strong enough.
Yep.
That's the crazy thing. Mm-hmm. They're not strong enough. So for a specialized firm like us with Basden Accounting, the kind of clients we have, the portfolios we have, our people have to be strong. As the owner, I'm responsible to make sure that the strongest, most qualified people work on our clients. So for a quick second, I didn't do my job. So God came in and fixed it. That's the crazy thing. Anybody, if you haven't been listening to our podcast before, we are Christians. We do believe that everything that we do, every success that we have a part in it, but God has a bigger part in it. He's the one that's behind the scenes. He's the ultimate chess player, the ultimate checkers player. He's the one that's orchestrating this whole thing in our lives. And he can always see things that we can't see. I love to talk about the forest and the trees, but as you go through your life, no matter how smart you are, no matter how educated you are, no matter how much schooling you've had or opportunity you've had or whatever, just know that all that you are as a human being is somebody that's in a forest walking through the trees day by day, trying to find your way out of it to a better situation. And as you're walking through the trees, you might bump into a tree here. You might fall into a hole that you didn't see. but you're walking in this forest trying to find your way. And as you walk through it, you need community. You might find somebody over at this tree, a group of people that can help you and say, hey, I went this way last time. It didn't work out. Don't go that way. That's the Dex and Randi podcast. You might go somewhere else and realize like, oh, I'm going to try to go this way. And somebody's sitting there saying, oh, no, that's not the way out of here. That could be your parents. That could be your friends. But you're in the tree level. But God is sitting on top of that forest. He created that forest and he created you, and he knows exactly which way you need to go to get where you need to be. And he knows when you need to do it and how you need to do it. And he's the only one that's sitting up in the sky that sees the whole forest and not just a piece of it. And that's why we need it. Right, Ben?
Amen.
Anyway, we hope that y'all appreciate this episode of our podcast. This episode 56, dedicated to our dog. We love Maxie. We miss you, Maxie. We're so sorry for everything that happened, but we love y'all. And next time, if you enjoyed our podcast, make sure you share our podcast. This is the Dex and Randi Show, the #1 show for going through the ups and downs of life. Tell a friend about it. Tell a family member about it. Get your spouse on it when you're driving to work. Put on our podcast. You're sitting at home cleaning up the dishes. Listen to our podcast. We are extremely real about everything that we talk about. All right, so follow us on TikTok. We on Instagram, the Dex and Randi Show. Follow us on all platforms that have podcasts, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Tap in with us. We want to grow our platform, grow our community, and we are here for y'all, and we love y'all. Peace. Make sure you follow the Dex and Randi Show on all platforms, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or on YouTube. Let us know what you're going through. This is the #1 show for going through the ups and downs of life. We want to hear from you, engage with you. Till next time, peace.